In the eerie half-light, the palace feels like a cathedral. Every room a vast echoing chamber with minimal wood furniture and unravelling tapestries on the walls. I work my way back, and the rooms get smaller. In one, there's a row of pitted kettles and old pans hanging from hooks, and a fire pit in the centre with a fat copper pot sitting on a metal rack. Another is heaped with old blankets and cushions, stubs of candles set on the mantelpiece amid old wax spills that drip on the hearth. I head up again and find threadbare rugs on the cold wood floors and tatters of curtains hanging at the empty window frames. It's dusty up here, and the air is bitter. Room after room, I catch flashes of the lives that were here before. Rickety old beds, window seats where nobody has sat for years. There's a piano in one room, surrounded by narrow, upholstered benches, and in another, a heavy wood dresser. The drawers squeak as I pull them out to reveal neatly folded, moth-eaten linen. I can't go through everything, I whisper to myself despairingly as the next door opens onto yet another room, this one with vast oak wardrobes and a heavily laden bed. I sigh, abandoning the room and trudging to the next. It's a smaller bedroom that connects to the previous one with a little doorway in the corner, and it's chaos. The room, and all the dust and debris, has been torn apart. A chest of drawers lies on its back, its legs broken, its drawers have been ripped out and lie in a pile of wooden shards beside it. A tiny bed has been snapped clean in half, its boards like jagged teeth. I swing the lantern about me, catching my breath at the destruction it reveals. Something winks in the fireplace. I hold my breath and move towards it as my vision flickers with what this room might have been like before it was destroyed. The bed beneath the window, heaped with blankets and pillows, the chest of drawers, spilling soft clothes, a thick, intricately patterned rug on the floor, and an iron guard up against the gently flickering fire. My mother's voice, and the sound of laughter. My father's broad smile as he reaches down for me, the amber acorn glowing at his neck. The vision clears as I reach the empty fireplace. Empty, but for a single acorn, almost hidden by a thick pile of ash. I pull it out, and dust drifts through the grate of the floor. A fragment of charred, blackened chain falls from the loop of the top of the acorn to join the ash, and I don't try to rescue it. The acorn is enough. It is the one he wore, of rich dark amber, still warm between my fingers. I fold it into my palm, and my throat tightens, a sharp cough exploding from my chest. My eyes are burning, my skin stings all over. I bring the amber acorn to the one at my neck, and I feel again that magnetic pull as it merges with them, threading a fine strand of amber through the heart of the silver and gold. A bolt of something rushes through me, something wrenches and falls apart, and I stumble, catching myself on the wall. Nan's glamour unspooling as my own power takes over. It's thunder in my veins, but there's no time. There are footsteps on the stairs, heavy as mountains falling, quick as a river, coming towards me. The Shadow King himself stalks into the room. There's no time to hide or run. I didn't prepare myself for this. I never really imagined being in the same room as him. The sheer physical presence of the Fey King so close I could touch him is a shock that makes the hairs on my arms stand up. "What do you hear?" he asks in a cracking voice. The hair that escapes his blood is long and lank. His beard reaches to his waist in scraggly wisps. He wears threadbare grey robes, drawn in over his thin waist by a knotted leather belt. He comes towards me, and the shadows curl at his side as if trying to get away, but my father fights and wins, and finally, he is there before me. Elos, the stag, my father. Amara, he whispers with a dusty, broken voice. I cannot speak. I just stare at him. But no, he whispers, as if to himself, one claw-like hand on the door pulling him upright. No, I watched her die, and the sickness was tight in my belly, and I could not be sure. I thought I'd imagined my mother there. She took something. I forget. What did she take? What are you? She took me, I say, and I weld my voice with steel so that it does not shake. She took me away from the plaga and your shadows, and we tried to come back to you, and you had locked yourself up here. I gesture around us while ice drips and the sun's pale wintry rays begin to filter through the windows. And you had cursed the whole place, sent your shadows so far and wide, given them so much power, there was no way through. My daughter? He nods absently, his eyes still turned inward. I remember we had a daughter. I did not know where she had gone, whether she survived the sickness at all. I sent my stag to find her, but they said she had gone with her mother. Who said? The shadows. And you listened to your own shadows, your own fears. He blinks, and it is as though he hasn't blinked for 1,000 years, for 1,000,000 lifetimes. Brown eyes crinkled at the corners, desperately confused. He takes a step forward. I take one back. The acorn gleams at my neck and he sees it. Estelle, you do look like Amara, except for the horns. Those are mine. He reaches thin, brittle fingers up to touch the horns, half hidden in the thatch of his brown-grey hair, and I do the same. I gasp. Horns, smooth as new conkers, spiring like shells. I have horns. What do you want from me? The Shadow King asks, furrowing his brow. Why are you here? Why do you interrupt my silence, my peace? My stomach twists. I cannot work out whether he is still confused or just angry that I'm here. Has he really searched for me? Or does he think I died with my mother? Does he think I'm just a dream? I want you to stop the shadows, I manage finally. I cannot stop them. You made them, so make them go away. I made them? And they are destroying Winterspell, killing trees, killing Fae. But no, they do not. They are not for the forest. I thought they were mine alone. They were my punishment, for I let my lady die, and I lost our child. I have been haunted by them. First the stag. I could not control him, once he had grown strong in my sorrow, and from him so many others came. I could not see past them, could not leave this place. It wasn't just you they affected, it was the whole of Winterspell. You didn't see how they struggled, how they fought? They always fight, he shrugs. That is what they are, it is what they live for. Not for fighting with shadows, I say. I did not see that. I have been locked in this palace, lost in the shadows. But who are you to say such things? He demands, and his eyes, when I find the courage to look into them again, barely see me at all. They are dull once more, as if they see nothing but the shadows of his despair, of his own personal agony, that which has caused the misery of so many. One person's fear, one person's misery, a whole world near destroyed.